Eragon is the worst movie that has ever been created, in my honest opinion. About a year ago, I decided to do a Totes legit synopsis / review on the Eragon film adaptation. And I even released a teaser for it while I was in the middle of editing.
Gwyn's mighty bolts peeled apart by stone scale.
But no, this movie got the best of me. I love bad movies. I have made my best friends sit down and watch the Critters movies. I adore the Batman and Robin movie. Fantastic Four, Four Stick, was the most awkward fap I have ever had in a while. And I burst out laughing in the theater during the shit editing of Independence Day Resurgence. But there is nothing funny about this movie. The only thing apparently entertaining about it is my reaction to the phrase,
"I suffer without my stone. Do not prolong my suffering."
My friends say I visibly cringe, and they think it's comedy gold. Hell, the Rotten Tomatoes page on this movie even has the goddamn quote listed. It's like they fucking know. Why do I hate that line so much? Because I'm biased. Fantasy novels are a big part of my life, and none so ever more than the inheritance cycle. Back when I was but a wee faggot, me grandmama took me to ye old Target. There, out of the corner of me visual slits, did I doth see a very fat book. It intrigued me, so I read the description on the back page. Dragons, swords, magic, elves, dwarves. My tiny erection grew 3 sizes that day. Plus, it was one of those reversible books, so after you're done reading the first, about halfway through, you come to some kind of cryptic aardvark language. But, you turn it over and then upside down. Boom, you got a second book. 2 stories for less than $15? What kind of socialist bullshit is this? Eragon and the second book, Eldest, are not the best books in the world, I admit that. Hell, there are even valid claims that a lot of the story was derivative from Star Wars and Lord of the Rings. What? You mean a story about an orphan who meets an old man who gets some kind of blue weapon and magic and is trained by said old man and is told he has a higher purpose, trains like crazy, becomes a hero and saves the people, might just be a tad bit derivative? Shit, you think the book was written by a goddamn 15-year-old or something? I like the stories because after the lukewarm entry that was Eragon, the series became more about the lives of multiple heroes, instead of just focusing on one. The hero Eragon, his trusty dragon Saphira, the leader of the Varded Narsawada, and Eragon's cousin Roran, and that creepy little girl, the one who could tell when people are going to get hurt and will, physically do anything to stop it from happening. Was that a real thing? I have to be honest, it's been a bit since I last read the books, but goddamn, there was a creepy little child with the voice of an older woman whose body was twisted by a fucked up spell. So she'd have to protect people from danger, right? I surely hope I didn't imagine this up in some kind of diabetic fever dream. I surely hope not. But then Fox 2000 was like,
"But I have no money."
And decided to lay this magnificent turd of a movie out on the floor. Upon which, I could not go to the theater to see. Because we were poor as fuck at the time. So when the movie was around $5 for the DVD, I bought it. And after watching approximately 5 minutes, I took it out of the DVD player, broke the disc, threw it in the trash. A few years later, I returned to the unholy land and completely watched the entire movie. I forced myself to watch it. This movie is proof that I am probably a Russian sleeper agent, and my trigger phrase is, "I suffer without my stone. Do not prolong my suffering." A line that happens exactly 2 minutes and 12 seconds into the movie. And I have subjected myself to this so many goddamn times that I have fucking ironically prolonged my own suffering. And let's start there. No need to begin with the shit exposition narration at the start. Let's start at the absolute highest and lowest point in this movie. Also, spoilers ahead, you late bastards. Who the fuck wants to see this movie? I suffer without my stone. Do not prolong my suffering. Is this movie calling you an idiot? Plain and simple. In the book, the elf Arya and her gang of merry men steal the egg from the Mad King Galbatorix and are ambushed. She uses her magic to teleport the egg away, where it is found by our hero, Eragon, who mistakes this weird-looking rockish thing to be a stone, which is only his opinion of what it is. And it is an important little twist when it hatches, and Oh no, the stone was an egg, GG no re. But look at it. What does that look like to you? You only have two valid answers. Either it's the biggest fucking Mike and Ike you have ever seen, or it's a blue snake egg. It looks like an egg. It has visible blood vessels like an egg, despite being completely dry and hollow. The texture even fucking looks like it might feel like an egg. But no, the narration...
Carrying a stone, stolen from the king himself.
And the fucking villain himself, who shouldn't even be in this movie, tell you it's a stone before you or even fucking Eragon can make an assumption. It is the most insulting part of this goddamn movie to anyone who cared about the books, even a slight bit. The movie is like, hey boys, look at this stone. And we're like, oi mate, that's not a stone. Yes it is. Have a good look at it. Mate, that's not a stone. That is clearly someone's mold-crusted Easter candy. Yes, it's a beautiful stone, but guess what? It's not a stone! It was an egg the whole time! We fooled you, you fucking idiots! You suffer without your stone? This giant fucking suppository? How does it feel, Mr. Writers at Fox 2000, thinking you can supplant ideas into people's heads just because you say a few words? How was this to work? How does Galbatorix have any hope for this? I suffer without my stone? You looking pretty good right there, matey. Maybe if you had told this fucking love child of Brad Dourif and Alice Cooper here what the fucking thing was, maybe he would have had a much better incentive to reclaim it. This dark wizard named Durza, does he even know that it was an egg? Of course he does. He even states it later when the damn thing hatches.
The dragon has hatched.
So why did he say it was a fucking stone if they knew it wasn't it? Even kid shows don't think that their audiences are complete retards, but those fuckers at good old Fox 2000 did. The only thing that suffered without an actual stone was the goddamn plot. I can't. Let's move on. I'm going to have an aneurysm. Eragon is literally played by the most boring human being on the face of the planet. A fucking cardboard cutout of the actor instead of the actual actor would have shown more skill and emotion than this fuckwit. Look at him. Look at him. Just fucking look at him. Do you think he has the necessary aptitude to do this role? No? Then you'd be right. Because that's not even the fucking main character. This is him. Yes! That's him! And one of the most confusing things I've ever seen, they have chosen to take two different actors with so little distinctiveness in their looks to play the cousins, Eragon and Roran. And even as a little bitty fuck you, they give them a fight scene where you are so confused as to who the fuck is who.
My breakfast.
Too slow, Roran.
Wake up, dreamer.
It goes so far down here from the start, it is absolutely incomprehensible. The plot doesn't too much deviate from the books, but the choices that are made to adapt it to the big screen are so mishandled that I want to vomit. I really want to vomit. This isn't the part. I'll go through the plot of the book. Boy meets dragon. Boy raises dragon. Dragon becomes too big. Shit starts to get noticed. Evil dudes come for dragon. Uncle dies. Wise old man tells boy to join rebellion. Boy and old man travel with dragon. Possibly fuck. Must check fanfiction.net for source. They train. Meet interesting characters. Old man dies. Save elf bitch from earlier with Legolas impersonator. Travel to mountain. Join rebellion. Train. Get badass armor. Fight bad wizard. Smash a giant fucking jewel. Kill bad wizard dude. And every single one of these points is fucked over in the film. Eragon does not raise his dragon Saphira. Hell, he doesn't even name her. In the book, the old man named Brom teaches Eragon a little history about dragons, while he's raising her. And tells him a dragon's name, Saphira. Ooh, that stuck out. He in turn names the dragon Saphira. Nah, dude. Saphira suddenly grows up, like instantly, after barely flying for a few seconds. Oh no, we couldn't work in a time skip of him raising and carrying and feeding a baby dragon. That would have actually been fucking interesting. Nah, she hatches from the egg, a strong, independent dragon who don't need no rider, and is instantly able to hunt and fend for herself. And what about their connection? Yes, their connection, because we can't fucking forget that can we? One of the most important things about Eragon and its fucking distinction from Star Wars is that the lightsaber doesn't talk, nor does it have feelings, at least that we know of. Eragon and Saphira have an intimate relationship that develops quite neatly in the books. They become so intertwined that even though there are two separate beings, the bond they developed was so strong that they hurt when they were apart, and it also made it seem as if the two were one half of the same person. Nah, boy, let's skip all that interesting shit. Subtlety, that shit is for gay people and rogues in World of Warcraft, which aren't mutually exclusive. Personality, who needs that shit when we have Jeremy Irons? And what happens next? The evil dudes attack. That's it? That's it. Because fuck them actually being discovered to their own fucking ignorance. We have to drive the plot regardless of whether or not it has a goddamn engine. The dragon gets big, the evil dudes attack, and the uncle is killed. But guess what? Guess what? Eragon is now traumatized about riding his dragon. You know why? Because his uncle died. Yes, in the book, his dragon scales were so sharp, she basically almost castrated him when he rode her. In this movie, his uncle died because she tried to save him from dying too, so he doesn't want to ride her. What? You know, I think a lot of people would agree with me when I say that the single most absolute thing in this world, the next, and the fantasy world, that would help me get over the death of a loved one is riding a fucking dragon. Are you high? Of course you are, because the rest of the movie is just as fucking stupid. Ironically, the books that I enjoyed that told a story about different people fails as a movie because it's just about fucking people. There are no elves. There are no dwarves. The only fantasy creature in the goddamn movie is the fucking dragon. And there are no interesting characters or creatures in it. Hey, there's this witty, smart, and a little bit kooky herbalist. She's also a wizard. That would add a much needed sense of humor and link to magic. Yeah, that sounds great! Let's replace her with some generic fortune-telling hoe bag who looks like she just got bukkakied by a pent-up Mr. T. Wait, what's this I'm reading? Urgles? What am those? Oh, some badass, tall, hulking creatures of war. With gray skin, yellow eyes, very tribalistic, capable of immense stamina. Of which there is this one who is able to take down a bear so big he uses the fucking thing's stomach as a pot for his food. Think about that. Ooh, I got it. Fat people. We blew up all of our budget on the CG dragon, so let's just drive down to IHOP. We'll get a truck. Load up some people at the buffet. We'll take them by Hot Topic. Trust me, it'll look great. Razak, what the hell is that? Boy, I got something for you. Think the crow people from the Dark Crystal, but when they go, they put you in a trance. They hunt human beings. They are naturally designed specifically to hunt us. These are the reason humans are naturally afraid of the dark. If we work this in correctly, we may give kids a new type of fear. I see. I got it. We'll take Altair from the Assassin's Creed, but we'll wrap him up in shit-covered toilet paper and roaches. Every goddamn aspect of this movie was mishandled, except the CG dragon. Everyone who has ever seen this movie praises it for probably one of the best integrations of real life and CG for its time. Saphira looks fantastic in most scenes. She looks weighty. Her facial movements look natural. The lighting is so well done at times she looks like she's actually in the scene. But goddamn it, that's it. She has no personality, which is what people love about her character in the books. She is just something to ride, make snappy comebacks.
But be careful.
You be careful.
And follow what Eragon says. Inserts comment about female representation in fantasy stories. If you read the comments on the IMDb page, people even say this movie should have been called Saphira. Why? They think this because they fell for the act of Fox dangling some pretty dragon toy over your head like you're some kind of stupid little kid watching a mobile spin. But in reality, it should have been called Saphira because all the money went into making sure her scales reflected the colors of the fucking rainbow. And the shittiest thing is that somewhere I think that this was supposed to be someone's magnum opus. There is way too much work done on this one aspect of this movie just some generic fantasy movie for the kids. Someone had a fucking dream to bring you the best on-screen representation of a dragon that, in my opinion, sometimes makes Smaug from The Hobbit look like an asset from Jimmy Neutron. And this was back in 2007. All the other effects are shit. They overused the goddamn green screens to the point them just standing near a cliff looks so goddamn awful. You just want to laugh at the incompetence, but you can't. It's so bad. Some integration of practical effects are neat, but goofy. The only good actor is Jeremy Irons, and he tries. I swear to God, he tries to save this movie, but he can't. The guy who plays Durza, he's a good close second, but he doesn't appear to be menacing until the very end. Everyone else is just bad or useless, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. Fuck yourself. Yeah, there's some plot left, but dear God, it's boring. It's fucking boring. The rest of it is boring. Describing it to you is boring. I have wanted to do a synopsis or review on this damn thing for a year now, and every time I try to tackle it, it just pisses me off. I cannot work any good jokes into it. There are almost no good aspects of the shit show that I can work with, and the way they work the story, I'm insulted because as a book lover, they shat on it. They took a generic ass fantasy story with some good little nuggets of interesting things, and they threw it in the fucking toilet. This story may have not been much worth in itself, but it helped define what I desire in most fantasy stories, and also what I plan to incorporate as I write my own.
And without their support, I wouldn't be where I am today. And then later on, of course, I learned the value, once Eragon was, the trilogy was bought by Random House, I learned just how valuable, the economies of scale, how valuable it is when you can get a big corporation to really back a product.
In conclusion, one of the worst things I experienced about this is preparing to do a review or a synopsis on this. I showed this movie to a friend, and at the end I asked him what he thought. His answer was, "I'm glad I didn't read the book."